Good morning, and this is LRTN, and we are here discussing the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference. And with me, I have with me Mr. Bobby Brayman. And Mr. Bobby Brayman, I just want to, can you please tell us your name and where you live in the States?
My name is Bobby Brayman, and I live in Columbus, Ohio. And I am here for the conference as well. This is my first time here. I am in the technology area, and I'm here in this brief interview with my sister here from Liberia. Basically going to highlight what I do, the reason I'm here, and etc.
Okay, thank you so much. And you want to know, my name is Lucy Wilson Pierre. I work with the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference with the Feedback and Evaluation Committee. And also in the interest of the Union of Liberian Association in the Americas, and this is LTR. This is LTRN. My next question will be, what really motivated you to participate or to come to this conference? What's your motivation? So that people that are out there will listen to you and maybe they will be motivated. Those that are driving from other states and they're coming. So what really motivated you to come to this conference?
To this conference or to the States? Well, first, what motivated me to be in America. I was a child when I got here. I live in Chicago with the late Consul General Honorable Alexander P. Bay. Went to high school there, and I moved to Columbus, Ohio to my mother back in the 90s. That being said, I heard what was happening to Liberia because I was in there when the war broke up, and I never went there. I never returned till 2018. That was my first time going back, and I saw the devastation that the war had brought to our beautiful country. With me being a technology guru, technology kind of person, and I feel like I have an obligation to help Liberia get back on its feet as long as I have life in me. And also I look at the people in Liberia, how this technology is being influenced with them, and they don't have the means and other way to get their messages across, whether it's internet, whether it's telecommunication or cell communication. So I've been trying to see what can I do with my technology expertise to help. Education background, I have a computer science engineering and I have an electronic technology engineering 2 degrees, and also was recipient of IEEE academic, and also award, about 3 awards from them, academic and other.
I think you've achieved a lot. You've achieved a lot. I was just wondering, do you have any, outside of your family engagement in Liberia, maybe transmission, do you have any other engagement in Liberia?
Currently, no. But I am working with a couple of Liberians who are in the Liberia America Association, like ULAD and stuff. They have encouraged me and educated me to join them to see what we can do with my trade, with my education. So currently, no, I don't have any engagement, and I'm working towards that.
Okay. Again, this is the LRTN, and we are at the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference. We are here. We're also encouraging others to attend. If you are driving, make sure you drive safely to be here. And it's really, really nice talking to you. But what kind of message do you have for those that have not been here, that are on their way? What message, since you're so motivated to be here?
Well,
What kind of message you
I
have for
encourage
them?
each and every one of Liberian to keep our hope up for that country. The message is for them to stay resilient, encourage, and educate themselves, and don't not only think of themselves or family, but think about the country as a whole. Because whatever you do today, it will show tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I want to take this time to say thank you so much, Mr.
you.
Bobby Brymer. And
Thank you.
again, this is LRTN. We are at the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference, and we are going on a commercial break. We will see you all very, very soon.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamet.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamet.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamet.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Maintaining your vehicle can be a major investment. That's why here at Brothers Auto Care, we pride ourselves on providing professional and reliable auto care at affordable rates. Whether you need an inspection, new brakes, or diagnostic reports, our skillful and experienced mechanics are here for you every step of the way. Call Brothers Auto Care now to schedule your next auto maintenance and repair service. At Brothers Auto Care, we help you drive home with peace of mind.
Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN.
Good morning. Again, my name is Lucy Wilson Kia. I am at the Liberia's Annual Diaspora Conference, and here we are working with LRTN. And I have from Liberian men who decided and took upon themselves to come to this conference because this is all about the diaspora. So on my left, I have Mr. Joseph Kebi, and on my right, I have Mr. Joseph Saka, and Mr. Joseph Saka is head of the Liberia's medical mission. They are here to contribute their quota to this particular conference and encouraging those, especially if you're driving or maybe you're flying here, we ask you to drive safely. We're going to be here and making sure that we are all part of this conference. So having said that, I will talk first to Mr. Joseph Kebi, who is going to tell us little about himself, especially where he lives in the States, because that's very important for this conference. And then on my right, Mr. Joseph Saka will also tell us a little bit about himself, where he lives in the United States. So we start with you, Mr. Joseph Kebi.
My name is Joseph Kebi, like you said. I live in Colorado Springs, and I'm a Liberian. I started an organization called Proudly Liberian, and I've been doing that for quite a while, over 15 years now. I've been doing that, an institution called Proudly Liberian, and it's all about just showcasing what Liberia has to offer, using our national colors, symbols, and so on.
Okay, thank you so much. And so I'll turn to you, Mr. Saka, to tell us a little bit about yourself and where you live in the United States. We understand that Mr. Saka was also here yesterday, so just tell a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Joseph Saka. I'm a Liberian residing in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I'm also the head of the Liberia Medical Mission that was founded 16 years ago.
Wow, excellent. So I just want to ask you, since Mr. Kebi, this is your first day at this conference, what really motivated you to attend the conference, and what can you tell others that are driving here to expect?
Well, I would say that anywhere there are Liberians converging is a good thing, especially thinking about our nation. How do we work together? Those of us that are in the diaspora work together and, of course, help improve the conditions of our people back home. That's what I encourage you to be here. And what I will say to people coming, this is a place to be. Especially when you come here, you got to meet people like Dr. Sako, who's been doing a lot of fabulous work in Liberia, helping our own people to make sure that we're serving not only what we're doing here, but we're giving back home. So it's good to be here.
Yeah, and I know that Mr. Sako, you are a great example for Liberia. The fact that you're heading a medical mission to your country, what will you say to other Liberians regarding what you're doing? How can they do it, not only medical, but other aspects, other economic sector in Liberia? How can you encourage them to do, because you are an excellent example of actually what is going on in Liberia, what should be going on in Liberia?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Joe, for all what you do. I mean, as I always tell people, Liberia is what we have. No one, no country, no one will build Liberia except Liberia. All right? People will donate, people will be there, for temporarily, but it is the Liberians that will build Liberia. Okay? In order to do that, we cannot leave everything on the government. It is the private citizens, the Liberians themselves, who have to intervene. And this is exactly what we are doing. All right? Going to Liberia, taking eye surgeons, taking surgical team, mental health team, assessing the needs, the actual needs of a Liberian, and going to address them head on is what we have been doing for the past more than a decade.
Yeah. So we just want to say thank you so much, because this is what we need to be doing. What's your last word? What do you want to tell the people to take away from this discussion? Yes, a minute. Yeah.
What I want to say is that Liberia, like you said, Liberia is all that we have. Like for us, one of the things that we're also doing now is actually putting radio stations that will serve the young people. The young people of Liberia are our future, and we need to invest in them as much as possible. Every one of us will leave this earth, but the young people will stay and continue the legacy that which, like Dr. Sako has started, what we do in Liberia, and other people. So let's invest in the young people for the betterment of our nation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kebby. And Mr. Sako, we just want to say thank you. You're doing a great job in Liberia. You're someone that's motivating people as they see your example, taking medical mission. I think that's a great thing. Just use a minute, what you want to tell the Liberian people. And
what I want to tell the Liberian people is that let's stop blaming and putting everything on the government at all times. Oh no, the government is not doing that. The government is not doing that. America is the wealthiest nation on earth, but yet still government cannot address everything of its citizens. There are private citizens that are intervening in different sectors. So we need to at least emulate that good example. And I want every Liberian to please, let's leave our differences. Let's go and rebuild our country.
Okay.
It is Liberia we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, this is LRTN, and we are at the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference. We're going on a commercial break. We'll see you soon.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamet.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamet.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamet.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Good morning. This is LRTN, and we are at the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference. My name again is Lucy Wilson-Pierre, and I have with me Mr. Martin Williams. Mr. Martin Williams, I understand yesterday you were at the conference, and I just want for you to state your name again, and then also let us know which state you live in the United States, or whether you live outside of the United States.
So my name is Martin Olu Williams, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, so Martin, you attended the conference yesterday, and I'm sure we have some Liberians that will be maybe driving or or maybe came from another state to flew here. So what is your what motivated you to come, and what can you tell others that are driving to expect?
So what motivated me to come is I just wanted to network and meet like-minded Liberians, and people. I feel like people that are showing up to this conference, they are more in a leadership role, and I want to network and meet those people. And I feel like everybody here today, they're all in for improving Liberia and making it a better place for the future generations and things like that. So I just want to meet those people and network. And,
So what would be your advice, or what can you suggest to the Liberia Diaspora Annual Conference that they can do differently? Especially you're a young person, you're here. I don't know whether you met a lot of younger people in your area, or maybe if doing something that you need to like maybe network with. Did you meet people like that, or your age group?
Not really. I haven't met people around my age group. But to answer your question about what they could do differently, we had breakout panel sessions yesterday, and majority of the time it was the panelists that were, having a discussion. So I would recommend, having an open dialogue between, the people that showed up to those breakout groups and the panels, to have more of a Q&A, a bigger window for the Q&A slot versus just the panelists just talking the whole time.
Okay, so outside of your family engagement that you have in Liberia, if you do you have any other engagement?
Yes. So I do have a farm that it's been a year and a half now. I've been trying to get it to a point where it's profitable. So I have a farm out there. I have a few other pieces of property. So my background is I'm a civil engineer. Went to the University of Louisville. But I'm in construction management. I work for one of the largest construction companies in the U.S. and possibly in the world. They're like top 15. So I also do real estate development and things like that here in the States. But in Liberia, I'm focused on agriculture and, the food security.
Thank you so much, Mr. Williams. This is Mr. Williams, a young adult, having food security in Liberia, making sure that we eat. And this is what all this conference is about. You come, you network as a young person, you get information as to how to move forward in Liberia. So on behalf of we just want to take this time to say thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing isn't helping, it's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN. Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN.
Good morning again. This is LRTN. We are at the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference, and I have here with me Reverend Owen Wallace and his wife, Dr. Martha Wallace, at the Liberia Diaspora National Conference. First, I know I've already stated your name. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Wallace. where do you live, and what motivated you to attend this conference?
Well, thank you for having me. We're from Atlanta, Georgia, and my husband is originally from Liberia. I'm actually from the States. And I went to visit Liberia in March. And I went there for the first time. I fell in love. I actually fell in love with it. And when we went there, we decided to go further out from Monrovia and then look into some of the other places. And we ran across Robert Sports and we fell in love. I had an opportunity to talk with the chief, and one of the things that they mentioned was that the lack of education. And with me being in that field of education, it just prompted us to be able to move forward into wanting to do.
So we'll give Dr. Wallace the opportunity to talk about where you live.
In Atlanta, yes.
Okay. And what really motivated you also to be part of this conference?
Because I think we have, my wife and I comes with a lot of experience. I work in public works. I retired for 27 years. So when we saw the need of when the president asked for Liberians to come back home and rebuild the country, I think we yield to that calling. And because of the experience we have, we want to go back and give back to Liberia.
That's so
and
good.
I think we have what it takes to contribute to the rebuilding of Liberia.
Okay, this is so good. We have a husband and wife, Reverend and a doctor, giving back when it comes to education. So, what would you like to tell, just to close, what would you like to tell those in the States doing business, but they've not yet found their way to extend it to Liberia? And especially, Reverend Wallace, you're married to an American, and she has just embraced Liberia. So what is the message to our Liberian people within the diaspora that you can let them know to be motivated to do something, especially as a Liberian?
I think the message is that Liberia is our home. The president said that yesterday. And if anyone's going to rebuild Liberia, it's going to be us. And for we who in the diaspora that have traveled to the West, whether it's in Europe, Australia, or America, we have learned a lot that we can give back. And I think we need to go back and give back to our country, some of what we have learned. If you out there and you can just give 1 year of your service, or 2 years, or 6 months, everybody, if we all can give something, I guarantee you Liberia will come back to what it used to be.
Okay. I want to say thank you so much. And for you, as an American, you're married to a Liberian. What encouragement do you have, maybe a minute, to let other women who are not Liberian, but they are married to Liberian men, to come back and work in Liberia?
Absolutely. So for me, I feel that being an American, but this is really not my country. I am a part of what came from West Africa. I did my ancestry DNA and I found out my home is actually in West Africa, so this is not really my home. So I encourage people to go back and invest to where you really come from. We're a part of something bigger than the U.S., and we owe that responsibility to grab a hold to what the president is saying right now. He's opening the door for us to come back home. So let's gather together, come back home, and build together. We can build something great, and Liberia need us, and this is where we start.
Thank you so much. And again, this is LRTN, and we are at the Liberia Diaspora Annual Conference. We want to say thank you to both Reverend Wallace and Dr. Wallace. Thank you so much for what you're doing for Liberia and for our people. We'll now take a commercial break, and we'll be back soon.
Thank you.
I graduated from Cathedral High School and I graduated from Cuttington University, and I began my journalism career in Liberia. But as we all know, we all left the war. I had covered the Civil War just before I left Liberia, and I left in 1990 on a Fulbright scholarship to do my master's in journalism at Indiana University. And I continued my career in America because the war was still going on. So mid-career, newspapers were having a tough time in America because of the internet. And I knew I wanted to switch careers. I wanted to get into development because in America I was doing a lot of stories on urban communities, and that included refugees who came from Liberia, Somalia, South Sudan, and I wanted to go back to where those refugees came from. And so I decided to join the Peace Corps. My life was influenced by Peace Corps volunteers. At Cathedral, for the longest time, and he is still involved, we had Rocky, Mr. Robert Schwartz, who's turning 80 this year, and he's still involved in our Alumni Association. All of us know him, and he was there with us for most of the time. And I thought about him, and also there was the USIS director in Liberia, Dave Cracky, he's since left us. He was also a Peace Corps volunteer. So all of that influenced my decision to join the Peace Corps. And so in 2010, I went to Morocco to serve as a youth development specialist. And I knew I always wanted to do something with journalism. And so I started teaching English first just to gauge people. And then I decided to launch a journalism program. And I got a grant from this, a $500 grant from this organization called Kids to Kids Network in New York. And I organized the first journalism training. And I remember I only had room for 30 students. And when I went to the youth center where we're having the training, I had 100 students.
I'm screaming right now. Yeah,
so
I'm screaming, I'm in the building.
That people were interested. So I did not send anybody away. And I organized this training, 3-day training that was successful. I had really integrated into the Moroccan community. I was based in Ouarzazate, and Ouarzazate is the door to the Sahara Desert. It's also known as the Hollywood of Africa.
Yes.
And so these young people were just enthusiastic. At the end of the day, we created a Facebook page for news and a website. And it just went viral. And it happened at a time when youth and the media was important to USAID and the American Embassy. So the stars were lining up for me, and I got all the support that I needed to get the program going. And in Peace Corps, we say, it is the toughest job that you will ever love. It is the toughest job because you're leaving your family and your community, and you're going to a new place. You don't understand the language. You have to struggle to learn the language. And once you learn the language, you still miss home. You still miss the culture, but I think when you get yourself involved in it, because that's why you're there. You're there to learn these new experiences. And so that's what made it easier for me. Because my elementary school students that I was teaching English to were my language instructors. So when we walk in home and I would say, Shiohada, like, what is that? And then they would tell me, or I would say, what is that? Because I'm teaching them English, and then they would tell me in Moroccan Arabic. So it was a really good connection for me. So I ran that program throughout my service. Peace Corps is 27 months, 3 months for training, and then 24 months for service. But I had a great service in Morocco. And the program that I started continues today. The young people continue to have Ouarzazate News. And the organization that funded the project in the beginning, and they funded it throughout my service. And then when I was leaving, another guy, a retired journalist, he retired from a broadcaster from Reuters, he was coming in. And they said, we're shipping you to Ouarzazate so you can continue what Maurice started. And so that's what carried that program. So I had
You just
the
fix
love,
it,
the fun of my life when I was in Peace Corps, and it helped me to transition into international development. So after Peace Corps, I worked for an organization in Morocco, training young women how to do multimedia stories. And then after that, I returned to Liberia because I got a job to work for a USAID project on the IRIX. It was the Civil Society and Media Leadership Program, so I was the media development specialist. And so that's what brought me back to Liberia. So Peace Corps was the path that took me back to Liberia. But I'm here today to encourage all of my fellow Liberians. You have children, grandchildren that are graduating from college. They may be looking for opportunities to serve, and they may want this connection to Liberia, to where their parents and their grandparents came from. I'm here to tell you, please encourage them to join the Peace Corps. Before, when I served, I didn't have the option of going to Liberia because Peace Corps didn't want people going to places where they have connections, because they want you to have new experiences. But we have to change and adapt. We have to be flexible. So as part of that change, Peace Corps recognizes that Liberians in the diaspora can contribute to the development of Liberia. And what better way? You know, when JFK started the Peace Corps in 1961, it was for Americans to go around the world and share their skills. So now America is saying to us, America is giving us citizenship, a new life, a new lease on life, and they're saying to us, come back to Liberia, bring your skills, bring everything that you have learned. Our kids in Liberia need to improve their English, their math. We have healthcare challenges. So the two projects in Liberia right now that Peace Corps is running, health and education. So math and sciences. So you have the Peace Corps volunteers are teaching in our high schools. They're also working in our rural clinics. So just think about, you know, how your young grandchild or your daughter or son. But timing wasn't right. And the first deadline is October 1st. So you can, you know, get that application in, because it's usually a 9-month process. You have to go to health screening, you have to do a lot of, you know, different things to get to the process. So I encourage you to start. The next recruitment will be also do that. But I'll also say it's not only for you know, at one point, Peace Corps, we want our experienced Americans going to the serve. So if you are retired or nearing retirement and you're thinking, well, maybe I want to go back to Liberia, Peace Corps is something for you to consider. Remember, you'll be going back. It will help you get adjusted to Liberia again after so many years. So I want you to please think about Peace Corps. I'm here if you have any questions, but Peace Corps is a wonderful organization to join. It has been good for my career, and I know that it will be good for you and your grandchildren. So please consider Peace Corps. Remember, October 1st is the deadline for next year, and then we'll have another recruitment again in the spring of next year. So please think about the Peace Corps, and it is truly the toughest job you will ever love. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maury. I'd like to recognize the presence of the President Pro Tem, the Senator Dillon, and all the ministers of government here present. Today we gather not only to reflect on our challenges, but to share ideas, experiences, and strategies that would help shape Liberia. Liberia's journey towards the lasting prosperity. Today's session is about a vision, how we can harness our nation's natural and human resources, empower people, strengthen institutions, and build a resilient economy. We're privileged to have extraordinary thought leaders who would guide discussions today. They would explore a blueprint how Liberia can get to be the country we always wanted. Together, they will help us examine this blueprint of sustained growth, one rooted in inclusiveness, accountability, and forward-looking development. So as we begin, I invite you to open your minds, engage in the dialogue, and be inspired by the possibilities of a rising Liberia. We encourage you to listen closely, reflect deeply, and later share your thoughts. But before we get started, I have the distinguished opportunity and honor to introduce our President Pro Tem. The office of the President Pro Tem of the Liberian Senate stands as a symbol of legislative leadership and national responsibility. She guides deliberations, strengthens democratic processes to ensure that the voices of our people are heard at the highest level. So we are privileged to have the Honorable President Pro Tem, Nyamli Kanga Lawrence, who will give us some remarks this morning, the importance of gathering here and to inspire everyone about Liberia's democratic journey. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome and extend a warm welcome to our President Pro Tem, the Honorable Nyamli Kanga Lawrence.
Good morning, everyone. Senator A.B. Darius Dillon, the Chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the Senate, members of the Cabinet, Excellencies here present, Reverend Dr. Emmett Dunn, Chairperson of the Diaspora, and members of the committee, international partners and sponsors, fellow Liberians, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. It is a distinguished honor to be here as a special guest representing the Liberian Senate at this historic conference where Liberians from different parts of the world and with diverse backgrounds have gathered to brainstorm, share ideas, and set an agenda for inclusion in the growth and development of our country. As the President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, I stand before you today with a renewed commitment to deepening the bond with our global diaspora. We recognize that the Liberian diaspora is not just a it is a reservoir of talent, advocacy, and patriotic commitments. This is why the Liberian Senate will champion a comprehensive diaspora engagement agenda rooted in appropriate legislation, oversight, and national unity. This includes, number one,
passing the Diaspora Engagement Act to institutionalize dual citizenship rights. Establish a Diaspora Advisory Council is accountable for diaspora programs. Number 2, supporting fiscal incentives that will remove barriers for diaspora-led investments, including tax reforms, self-support, and the creation of a transparent diaspora investment fund. Number 3, ensuring accountability through public hearings, budgetary provisions, and performance on diaspora-funded projects. Number 4, advancing education and skills transfer for legislating university collaborations and incentivizing the return of diaspora professionals to serve in and at public institutions. Number 5, strengthening legal protections for returning diaspora Liberians, especially on land rights, integration, and distribution. Number 6, establishing a Senate-led Diaspora Affairs Caucus to provide continuous legislative engagement and ensure that diaspora voices are heard year-round. Number 7, reviving constitutional and electoral reforms that will enable diaspora voting and clarify the electability for public office. Number 8, and above all, championing national unity and reconciliation by promoting inclusive dialogues, healing historical divisions, and building a Liberia that welcomes all its sons and daughters wherever they reside. The time for symbolic engagement is over. It is time for action. The Liberian Senate is ready to collaborate, and we invite the diaspora to partner with us in building a stronger, more inclusive republic. In closing, I want to thank the President for his leadership for this great initiative. Also, we heard the concerns of all other leaders from the diaspora yesterday. We have instructed Chairperson of Foreign Affairs, Senator A.B. Darasdeno, and his committee to work with the Minister of Foreign Affairs while they are expanding our foreign mission to include Rwanda, Canada, India, and Australia. Thank you, and may Liberia rise through our collective efforts. Thank you.
Hello. You're listening to the declaration. You're clapping small. You're going to clap big. What's the Liberian? No standing ovation. Hello. Hello. You finally get a chance to make history. For the first time, the diaspora will not just be seen and having symbolic engagement, but to be a major participant in the development of our country. No standing ovation. Once a Liberian, when you do that, you must stand. Once a Liberian, once a Liberian, God bless you. Thank you, Mother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's hear it again, please, for the President Pro Tem. Well, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are now come to a very important part of today's program. At the heart of Liberia's journey towards sustainable growth is a clear, actionable strategy that sets the direction for our nation, especially the economic future. It is therefore my honor to introduce the presentation of Liberia's 5-year economic recovery plan and growth. The blueprint outlines the policies, priorities, path to a design to restore stability, accelerate growth and development, and create opportunities for all Liberians. Leading us through this technical presentation is none other than our illustrious Minister of Finance and Development Planning, the Honorable Augustine Gafwa, a steward of our nation's fiscal and economic policy, whose leadership has been pivotal in shaping Liberia's recovery agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, Minister Gafwa.
Pro Tem, Senator Dillon, Chair of the Senate Standing Committee on Foreign Relations, our partners here, IOM, UNDP, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be here. And let me, before I get into my presentation, which they've done a technical presentation, I'll try to make it less technical. But to reminisce a little bit, I feel very honored to have been introduced by no other than the venerated Charles Russell. The reason is that as a young man attending Boswell Junior High, I would come from school and listen to the Sierra Show. And I was so much interested in that show that everyone knew me to be a Sierra guy. Yeah. And it helped me to drift into art. I am a poet. I do that as part of my way of reflecting. I see Sierra here looking vibrant and still contributing to this country makes me very good. Feel very good. So thank you very much. I've come to talk about the National Development Plan, which we adopt, the arrest agenda for development. Let me recognize my colleagues here, the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable J. Alexander Nuta. He's always pushing heavily for more because he says he's the A in the arrest. And Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Yakpawolo Yuri, Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Honorable Director General of the Cabinet, Honorable Nat Kwabo, and the Chair of the NIC, Honorable Jeff Blibo. I'm told you come in on the panel, so let me try to be as short as possible. I see my sister, the political advisor, my dad, co-legal advisor, and others, and political advisor, big brother, elder, father, Dr. Augustine Corner. So where I stop shop, they will fill me in. Okay, Liberia has been on the path for some time. As you all know, we had before the PRS, the Poverty Reduction Strategy, the government of Manasili. Before then, we had an interim strategy. We went to a poverty reduction strategy for the first term. And then during the second term, we crafted something called Vision 2030, which was supported by the first development planning called the Agenda for Transformation, the AFT. Today, in terms of outline, I'll try to. I need assistance here. Push this. Okay. This is the outline. But I would not go too detailed in something that is not here. I will talk briefly about. We'll talk about debt briefly, and talk about the macro goals in the arrest agenda. Some of the achievements thus far, challenges, and a slide for the diaspora. So, we're facing some technical problems, but let me proceed until they can get things straight. So, okay, that's it. Proceed. If this, I think everybody knows that. Okay. Now, as I was saying, the arrest agenda for inclusive development that we call the AID, it builds on previous development plans. You had the AFT, the Agenda for Transformation, that spanned 2013 to 2017. During the previous administration, we had the Pro-Po Agenda for Prosperity and Development, the PAPD, for 2018 to 2023. The arrest agenda was crafted last 2024, but we formally launched it January 15 in the city of Buchanan. The launch was done by the president and the Honorable Pro Tem and others, and development partners were present. We had also sectorial and county consultation. Besides the National Development Plan, we also have for the 15 counties something we call the County Development Agendas, CDAs. So for each county, you can take Grand Bassa, you can take Nimba, Maryland. Some of you that are interested, you want to know the aspirations of your people and what are the development challenges and what the people say they want, and what government has committed to helping our people to achieve. You can get a copy of the not only the National Development Plan, but the County Development Agenda. Now the grand goal here of the grand goal of the agenda is to transition Liberia from a low income to a lower middle income country. So there's a technical thing here. In terms of lower middle income country, it is measured by GDP per capita. Now, the GDP per capita of Liberia is about $850. We are trying by the end of the AID to improve that to not less than 1,000, it should be $1,050. That puts us in the lower middle income category. So that's the grand goal. Let's proceed. Well, we have county priorities, and when we did the county consultations, these are the priorities that came out very prominently from county stakeholders. Many of them talked about roads, agriculture. Mr. Nuta would like to hear that. Health, education, rule of law, sanitation. I don't want to delve into all the details. You see, River says, what they prioritize, Grand Bassa, Bong, Lofa, Bapulu, Mosorado. But let's proceed. We get a presentation. We can share the presentation later. Okay, there's the structure of the arrest agenda for inclusive development. We have 6 pillars, and those pillars are supported by something we call strategic policies, which are broken down into programs. We have 23 strategic policies. We have 52 programs. We have something called development drivers, development filters. I don't want us to get into the technical weeds on that. But the pillars are economic transformation, infrastructural development, rule of law, pillar 3, governance and anti-corruption, environmental sustainability as the 5th pillar, and then human capital development. So let's proceed. Well, let me say in terms of cost, the entire AID is costed at $8.38 billion United States dollars. That is the amount of money we need, or we're going to use, or we're going to mobilize to achieve or actualize the goals set in the AID. And the pillar that is taking part of the funds is the infrastructure pillar, giving our infrastructure deficits. And then next is the human capital pillar. Let's proceed. Let's go back here. Let's go back. Something I wanted to stress. There's a difference between the AID and previous plans. Okay. Well, the fact that we doing the AID, we're doing county development agendas. We also engage in a lot of consultations, incorporated the views of the diverse stakeholder community, including the youth, the disabled, Liberians from the diaspora, and everyone. It is aligned with the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, the Africa's Agenda 2063. That's the agenda for the AU, the Doha Program of Action, the AFCFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Area, and all aimed at advancing our Vision 2030. The Vision 2030 was crafted, I think, in 2013. It talks about the kind of state we want as a country in 2030. It's still alive, and this agenda is helping to build up to the achievement of that. Let's proceed. Now, there are macro goals that we seek. I wouldn't go into everything, but there's a very important slide. I told you before about the GDP per capita. You see it there. Now it's about $849, which is roughly $850. We're trying to make it to grow by 2029 to $1,050. In terms of unemployment, it's 5.9%, and that is technical. It may sound very low because there's a technical definition of unemployment. And if you say unemployment in a lot of African contexts, it's very low because I wouldn't want to get into the weeds. But that's why we've developed something called vulnerable employment and everything. One measure I want to stress is multidimensional poverty index. Now it's about 45%. The goal of the AID is to reduce multidimensional poverty to 36%, from 45 currently to 36%. Then on the SDG index, Liberia is 152 over 166. We intend to push it not less than 145. There are other indicators. You can see school completion rate, literacy rate, and everything. But the great goal is that we want to be able to carry the country to a lower middle income country. We stress the word lower middle. We didn't say middle income, lower middle. There are tiers in that whole middle. We have to be realistic, given where we met the country. We cannot promise what will not deliver. Let's proceed. Okay, in terms of performance of the economy over the past, last year it grew by 4.8% compared to 4.6% in 2023. The transitional issues. We also project that this year the economy will grow by 5.6%, and that there is strong growth in domestic revenue. And domestic revenue constitutes 93% of the budget. Last year, the budget was about $738 million United States dollars. The domestic revenue projected was about 690. We outperformed that projection in domestic revenue. I think at the end of the day, we got about 698 million. And that was the highest amount of domestic revenue generated ever in Liberia's history. Yeah, the highest amount of revenue generated. So this year, we have external resources coming on budget and our domestic revenue. You see, we're talking about 93%. We're trying to up our amount so that when partners and donors recede on us, we will not go in a little corner and cry, principally on what we're raising for ourselves. So, in dealing with shocks and other forms of economic turbulence, we are expanding our economy, improving revenue efficiency, collection efficiency, and raising domestic revenue. That is our main strategy. Some of you might have heard about the UC import and others, and some people had some apocalyptic. The ship has not wrecked, the plane has not crashed, because the chief pilot, President Borkai, is piloting well, and that we are moving to destination in spite of the turbulence. Has been moving over time. You can see that in 2018, we had one of the highest spikes in inflation it went to 27%. It came down in 2019, 2021, and at in 2023, it went to 10.1%. Now it's around 8.2%, within single digits. Let's proceed. Okay. Yeah, exchange rate. This is how exchange rate has been behaving. You know. This has been the US dollar. As we speak, I think this figure is a little bit outdated. It's quite lower than this now. I think what is the latest rate? 170. Yes, it is stabilizing around there. There's been some deliberate policies from the monetary arm supported by us, the fiscal arm, to stabilize the economy. Inflation now is, I think, if I'm mistaken, in July, it had dropped to about 7.14%. And I'm told that in August, it dropped further, I think below 6%. One of the main drivers of the inflation, the lower inflation, is low, what we call domestic food inflation. And one of the things that is causing that is that the country is getting more and more connected. People are leaving from as far as Grand G and River G and other places, bringing their products. It has caused, you know, the prices of food items to drop, and it has affected inflation in a positive way. I was just in a conversation with my brother Jerome Chetty. He was saying that I think Kota has reached to his village or his town. How you call it town? Kanweke. You know, I know the next time he's in Monrovia, I'm very certain he's going to go to Kanweke now. So let's proceed. Okay, these I talked about the costs. We're generating it through government revenue. We're mobilizing from partners, NGOs. We do in the diaspora through remittance. And let me say that the remittance flow to Liberia is increasing. One of the factors that affected the rate stabilization was an uptick in the amount of remittance for July and August. So you are performing your part in helping to stabilize. And as we all get geared to supporting the country, Liberians in the diaspora continue to do more. I will tell you some of the things we are thinking on attracting diaspora, support diaspora investment, and incentivizing those kinds of engagements. Well, you'll get on the presentation. I don't want to go through this too long. I'm being time budgeted. Let's proceed. Okay, this is the implementation framework. We have what we call the National Steering Committee for the AID, chaired by the President. It is meant to meet, you know, once or twice a year. You have development partners and others as part, and get a national coordinating committee that I co-chair with the partners. We just had our last meeting. They get technical committees. They meet at the payroll level, like, you know, they meet monthly, and we're tracking achievements along the pillars. But there's just a snapshot. There are many things that have been done. Yeah. We've produced or finalizing the first major report on the achievements and challenges of the AID. So this is just a scattering of some of the things that have been achieved. Domestic revenue for the first quarter or the first semester of the year, we collected $412 million. little above projection. In terms of business enabling environment, we drafted a national FTA strategy to align domestic trade laws with continental protocols, and that we co-launched through the Ministry of Commerce what we call the Accelerate 300 Assisted Technical Assistance Program to support medium enterprises with market linkages. Mr. Nuta has something called his National Agricultural Development Plan. We've been supporting farmers across counties. We also have established the National Tourism Authority. The president just named the entire board. I don't know whether the management has been named now. Okay. And activity has started. They've signed an MOU with the Liberia Immigration Service to reduce visa arrival fees for tourists by 50%. In terms of roads, network and safety, we've continued the construction of 145 kilometers of roads, rehabilitated and maintained 449 kilometers of literal roads in 9 counties, upgraded 18.85 kilometers of urban community roads, and will continue. But the main stretch, let me say this, key to our strategy is infrastructure, especially road connectivity. So, the government is not resting. We want to ensure that before the end of the period of the implementation, there will be paved road. The road will be fully paved from Monrovia to Harper, and we are well on our way. This year, people are going to southeast as quickly as they from Monrovia to Zulu in 7 hours. The last time, I usually say this about my assistant minister who went to represent our program in River G, where she comes from. He left in the morning around 5, but before 4 o'clock, he was in a senior staff meeting at the Ministry of Finance. Yeah, from Fishtown. So we're moving, and we're not going to rest on that. We're also focusing on the Common Highway. The road is almost at Salaye. We're mobilizing the financing from the Salaye, for the Salaye, Vonjama leg, and the Vonjama Medicoma leg. Things are on course. We are having forgotten the coastal highway from Buchanan, passing through Sino, going through to Harper. That is also on track. We are working. In fact, there is a concession now that the legislature was reviewing to approve for the road from Monrovia to Bowater side, to open the road. The Sierra Leoneans, from Freetown to our border is paved. It is from our side to Monrovia. So the government is tackling that. In fact, the road corridor is being cleared. Houses have been marked. The activity has started. We have a Liberian contractor that is taking it from making Freeport to St. Paul Bridge first, 4-lane, Logan Town, will soon be continuing, and will not stop. The Japanese are helping us. They will soon start with the road from Freeport, Gabriel Tucker Bridge. You know, the Japanese are noted for top quality roads. So this dry season, you'll see that. I think you might have followed the president breaking ground for the overpass bridge for the ministerial complex. It's going to come from the SKT Boulevard Road. There's going to be an overpass that will reach as far as, help me on that. Is it Vamona or somewhere? Yeah, something like that. So we're going to have our first overpass, sophisticated overpass bridge in Liberia. It's going to be completed in 2 years. Let's proceed. Well, we're rehabilitating Makofe. Power is very important to us in our strategy. Power. You might follow this going dry season. We had stable electricity for once in a long time. It was on account of deliberate actions taken by the president and mobilizing the right team and making sure that the right actions were taken, and we're not going to stop on that. We're increasing generation. We have something called Liberia was included among African countries, 12 African countries. There's a program from launched by the ADB, African Development Bank and World Bank, called Mission 300. It is intended to give not less than 300 million Africans access to electricity before 2030. We are one of 12 countries that developed something called the Liberia Energy Compact. In our Energy Compact, we intend to increase access to electricity by about 13% of the population. We intend to increase access to electricity to not less than 75% in the next 5 years. So actions are being taken in generation, increased generation at Makofe, on new 20 megawatt solar plants will be launched. We dedicated this year. It was the president broke ground for that last year. There is a private sector 23 megawatt facility coming up. It is going to be located near the RI. And they want me to start giving you this. So it's going to come on stream, but electricity is key to our agenda. It's also key to job creation because one of the main drivers, cost drivers that make businesses to go under is the prohibitive cost of power. Once the cost of power drops, businesses will be able. Liberians from the diaspora will find it more enabling to transition. So you see us focusing on the road, focusing on power, trying to work on access to finance is also to enable diaspora transition. Let's proceed quickly. I think I have to fly through now. We'll share the presentation. Let's move. The one or two things I want to say quickly. Let's move. Okay, I told you about the USAID court. You may want to know about that quickly. Out of 29 projects, USAID caught only 5 projects were kept. In terms of amounts lost, more than 300 million. USAID was the second largest donor to Liberia, mainly in the health and education sectors, and to some extent agriculture. So there's been a host of strategies we've used to stabilize and to keep the economy on keel, but I don't want to get into all of those. The Millennium Challenge Corporation was put on pause. Liberia gained eligibility for a second compact in December last year, but because of the leadership transition, it was put on pause for review by the State Department. I need to report to you that Liberia's case is still on track. Many countries have been dropped, including some of the countries that we all love to talk about. I don't want to call their names. But if everything keeps on course, as we speak, the Millennium Challenge Corporation team is in Monrovia. Just yesterday morning, I was in the 2-hour catch-up session with them. They're meeting the ministers, stakeholders, private sector actors. Some of them are here. They're having a meeting back in Monrovia. The feelers are good. In December, they are going to carry Liberia's case to the board, and we hope we can be approved. If we are approved, we stand to benefit hugely. We don't know the amount, but I can tell you that the last compact amount was $257 million US dollars. That was the amount that principally rehabilitated the McCoffey. So it is the principal source of power now. So we expect to get something significant. So let's continue to work to show ourselves deserving of the support. Okay, we are contemplating working on something called diaspora bonds. This is a conversation that started with Central Bank, where Liberians in the diaspora can invest in bonds and be used for development in the country. There are a lot of initiatives we'll get to you. It's good that it's been structured now. Just partners are interested. So, given what is happening now, I don't think this concept of diaspora conference should start. It is institutionalized a lot of good things. You hold a pro tem, we support whatever initiative that comes out. Quickly, I want to talk about debt, because some of you want to know the debt situation. The debt stock is about 2.6 something billion United States dollars. Yes, the total. And external debt is about, I think, 1.2 billion. No, 1.1 billion. The domestic debt is about, I think, 1.3 or so. So domestic debt, what we owe locally, is higher than our budget. The budget currently is 880.7 million. So people will say, oh, government owes you, and think that they can just go and we pay. So we have a debt resolution strategy. We have to be dealing with it methodically. Otherwise, we'll not have money to pay civil servants. So, but we're dealing with it, reducing the debt burden. But debt in and of itself is not a bad thing. It depends on how you use the debt. Because if you take loan and use it wisely, it expands GDP, and can even reduce the debt to GDP ratio. So basically, we are here. We will take more questions, but I don't want to take all the time. So this is the AID, and some of the main implementers are here. Questions I cannot answer, they are here to answer. Minister of Agriculture, he represents almost all the pillar leads. The Minister of Education is here. She chairs the Human Capital pillar. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. I think we have a clear perspective of where Liberia is going, and thanks for the insight into our 5-year economic recovery and growth plan. At this time, I'd like to call the Echo Bank for a presentation. Echo Bank.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all feeling okay. My name is Earl Dimley, and I'm here with my colleague, Mrs. Sonny Gisi, and we represent EcoBank Liberia. I know some people are wondering, EcoBank is back in Liberia. What is EcoBank doing here? But we are here with you, and we are not only in Liberia. We want to bring EcoBank Liberia to our people, our diaspora people here in America, so that they can also benefit and enjoy some of the benefits that people from Liberia also do. So today we are going to discuss a few of our.
So that the people in our sponsor all, when we talk about more support, so we have to put in here so they can be happy, so we can get more support. And when they talk about more support, some of you over here, you don't know what you can do. You don't need tough way. You can surprise them. Somebody just called me Jenna. The person say, you're talking about more support for people organization, but you don't know we ourselves can give you more support. The person gave us $10,000. Hello? Mike, test, okay. $10,000. And as the program unfolds, you will be able to hear from that person. You want to pay 10,000?
Thank you for that introduction. So I'm here on behalf of EcoBank Liberia. I'm here on behalf of EcoBank Liberia, and we are doing our diaspora business presentation. So EcoBank is across 36 countries in Africa. From there you see our footprint. So we are practically all over Africa. From there you see our footprint over Africa, and then we also offer services ranging from corporate, business to individuals. So the essence of this presentation is we are doing account opening for a few of those in the diaspora that do not have the opportunity to go back home and open an account. So we are doing this presentation to show you and make that process very seamless, that you have the essence of opening an account. And there are also several benefits that you will enjoy as you do open this account. So one of our major packages is the diaspora mortgage. And I will be very brief and summarize the essence of the diaspora mortgage. Some people that live in the diaspora encounter challenges, especially when obtaining properties back home. The headache of running to someone and then the person is not presenting or do your project up to your standard. EcoBank has found this product that they are going to stay in your state along with a licensed contractor to produce a very, very presentable structure that when you go back home, you will be able to see the value of the money. So there are several requirements that you need to have to obtain this facility. The potential borrower must be a permanent resident or have a legitimate status overseas, because there are some documentations that we need to have you on file to go through this process. So we will facilitate 75% of the project amount. We are able to give you up to $150,000 worth of property, but we will do upfront of 75%, and then we ask you to do a payment plan reach up to 10 years. So that with that payment plan, it's very affordable, with ease of stress. You'll be able to achieve that process. So display a few of the structures that we are able to produce on behalf of your state. If you see them, they are very, very modern buildings. Now, payments and transfer. Some people are wondering, if I'm here, how do I do payment back home? How do my account from back home do payment to me here? So this slide will also discuss that as well. We have a virtual card that you, as a customer, you can obtain without being present. You can have a virtual card that you can give to your child or a friend of yours for some ceremony, that he or she can use that to perform transactions. We also have a rapid transfer, that is our EcoBank own product. With the rapid transfer, you are able to transfer funds from one EcoBank account to another EcoBank within any of our EcoBank range, and that is instant. It doesn't have to go through the 3 days routing swift period. Once you transfer funds from your EcoBank Liberia account, and if you want to send funds to EcoBank Nigeria, Gambia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, or whatsoever, that transaction is very instant. And for monitoring your account as an individual, some of our customers do not have the luxury of time walking to the bank or calling a bank representative or one of their account officers to do transfer. We have the EcoBank Online, that is for our personal bank customers, individuals like you and myself. So with the EcoBank Online, you are able to transfer funds from your account to another EcoBank account. You are able to do loan payment and advances from the EcoBank account. You can see how much loan you owe, and if you want to pay your loan online, you do not need to walk to the bank. You can do that liquidation online from your account. So display is the face of EcoBank Online, how it looks. You can see from the blue cycle, it says how much you have. That's your total funds you have, and if you owe or if there's a loan running for you, you see it in the green cycle there of how much you owe. The EcoBank Opening Light is for our commercial customers, those that do businesses, our SME as well. The advantage it has over the EcoBank Online, the Omni Light has higher transaction rates, transacting limits. You are able to transact up to any amount on your account. For the individual, we know because of AML regulations, individual can transfer from $1 to $5,000. And for Omni Light, you can transfer any amount within your account, provided you have a supporting document in case of any anti-money laundering queries. So what is Omni Light? I just ran through an overview of it. Omni Light is an electronic banking service provided by EcoBank for commercial banking customers to allow them to perform transactions, payment, etc. over the internet. And that also, sometimes some people don't have luxury of time logging onto the internet. We also have an app for it where you can use that app instantly with your username and password, and then you also have access to your account. OmniLite is very convenient. You can access it any part of the world so long you have internet with it. It's fast. It has security. With OmniLite, whatever transaction you do, there are two-factor security layers. So even if your username and password may have been compromised, there is a layer of security that is the OTP. That the OTP means a one-time password. It goes to your registered mobile number or your registered email address that you have provided to the bank. With that also, there's another layer where you be asked randomly 3 security questions that you yourself may have set up. And once you answer those or provide those requirements, your transaction goes through seamlessly. So OmniLite, it has a current and savings account. Those that can go on the OmniLite. On OmniLite as well, you do your bill payments. We have LEC payments on OmniLite, so you don't need to go to mobile money or go to a vendor to pay your LEC. You can do your LEC payment of purchasing of token, and then you get your token instantly as well. Elevate. Elevate is one of our nice products. EcoBank women businesses. We know the population of women in Africa is approximately 50%, and of those 50%, approximately 25% of business owners are owned by women. And we want to increase or give women higher advantage so that they compete on the business level. So with Elevate, EcoBank is able to partner with women. We give you financial support. We provide a cash management solution for you. There will be an advisor for you that will be able to walk you through and advise you on your business plan and strategy. The future is bright, but with you and me, we can make it brighter. Thank you all. So if there is any question or concerns for those that may want to open their account, we are seated right out there. If you need any questions or clarity on the presentation we provided, you can reach out there, we'll give it to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to continue with the program, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our plenary discussion. And this panel discussion strikes to the very heart of Liberia's economic transition. Today's theme is building confidence in local and diaspora investment from policy to practice. Investment, both from within Liberia and from outside Liberia, is a powerful driver for growth, for innovation and job creation. But investment, for it to thrive, there must be trust. Trust in our systems, in our policies, and our ability to deliver results. The panel discussion will explore how we move beyond policy statements to practical steps to inspire investor confidence and unlock the opportunities across Liberia. Well, we are privileged to have a group of esteemed thought leaders and practitioners with experience that spans from governance, finance, law, and entrepreneurship. Together, this distinguished panel will share the perspectives on how policy can translate into meaningful practice and how we can strengthen confidence in investment, both from Liberians at home and Liberians abroad, and partners. Guiding us through this important discussion as a moderator, we have the Honorable Isaac Taggart, Jr. The Honorable Taggart serves as the Special Envoy for U.S. Trade and Investment at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Liberia. In this role, Honorable Taggart works at the intersection between diplomacy, commerce, and development. He promotes strong economic ties, advancing investment opportunities, and championing Liberia's engagement with global partners. With his deep understanding of both policy and practice, the Honorable is uniquely positioned to guide today's conversation. So for 30 minutes, he and his esteemed panel would examine this issue and hope that you will join them with your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, my honor to welcome the Honorable Isaac Taggart, Jr.
Good morning, distinguished colleagues, honored guests, and friends. Welcome to the Building Confidence in Local and Diaspora Investment and Policy to Practice panel discussion. I am the Honorable Isaac E. Taggart, and I proudly serve as the Special Envoy for U.S. Trade and Investment under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the Republic of Liberia. Within this role, I have the honor of building bridges between Liberia and the United States of America by mobilizing trade, investment, and diaspora engagements as catalysts for our national development agenda. I would like to first begin by acknowledging the organizers of the Liberia Diaspora Annual Conference for convening this impactful platform. By bringing together decision makers from government, industry, and diaspora, you are advancing the kind of dialogue and partnership that will define the next chapter of Liberia. As a representative of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Her Excellency, Madam Sarah Beslow Nyanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Minister Nyanti is a globally respected humanitarian and diplomat who has been instrumental in repositioning Liberia's foreign policy to attract investment, deepen bilateral ties, and ensure that international partnerships are aligned with Liberia's developmental priorities. I am especially honored to moderate today's discussion because this theme, building confidence for the diaspora investors, goes to the heart of my work. Our diaspora has been very vital in Liberia's progress, yet many challenges have stood in the way of translating policy promises into practical outcomes. Today we will explore how we can move from policy to practice in ways that unlock diaspora-led growth. Yes, Liberia may face challenges. However, under the strong leadership of His Excellency, President Joseph Niomo Boakai Sr., and through the implementation of the Arrest Agenda, focused on agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism, our nation is charting a new course. With that foundation, let us now set the context for today's conversation. What barriers diaspora investors may face, and more importantly, how can we work together to transform policy into practice? Joining me on this distinguished panel are leaders who represent government and the diaspora itself. Honorable Jeff Blibo, Chairman of the National Investment Commission of the Republic of Liberia. Chairman Blibo, please join me on the stage. I would like to also ask that Honorable Walla Blige, Council Member of Prince George's County, District 6, also to please join me on the stage. Council Member. Again, please join me in welcoming our panelists with a round of applause. Okay, thank you all so much. To begin, let's ground our discussion in the policy environment. Chairman Blibo. Diaspora investors have raised concerns centered around the Investment Act of 2010, particularly ownership thresholds, capital requirements, and dual nationality issues. What reforms are underway to lower barriers and to create a clear, predictable pipeline of opportunities? Chairman?
Well, thank you, Isaac, for that question. I think it's important to know the importance of the diaspora in our country. You all hold a very important role, and I'd like to encourage you to continue to do so. For the diaspora, it's important to recognize that one of the key to investment is asset accumulation. And whether you've been here for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 or 30 years, you've accumulated asset. And what we're trying to do at the NIC is tap into that asset base. And for that, we say you are very important and very strategic to investments in Liberia. But let me start by saying the question you pose is one that I've thought about, and we at the NIC have thought about. And that is, we recognize that the diaspora is important to us, and we must do everything possible to encourage you to invest in our country. With that said, the diaspora community is not only strategic in helping us get to where we need to get to, but it's also vital in that you represent an important element out of which we cannot do anything. So let me start by saying that in terms of the question that you ask, what can we do to help diaspora community advance investment in our country? I think it's very vital, very important that we continue to do so. But it cannot happen without the diaspora community. I think you more than anything have been very, very instrumental in terms of changing the dual currency, the dual citizen laws in our country. And for that, I want to say thank you. And you continue to do well in that area. but we need to encourage you more to do more. And that's very important because whether you are now able to change the law as the Honorable Pro Tem has said, we are encouraging you to partner with us, right? And if you partner with us, we can then move things logically to a better conclusion. Yes. So let me say that we at the National Investment Commission will support you in the diaspora if you continue to do what you ought to do and help us get to where we need to get to.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay. One moment, please. We're going to have the opportunity to open it up to the floor. So, expounding on the segment of policy and governance, we're now going to go across the globe here to the United States. Councilmember Bliguet, from your perspective as a U.S. elected official, what lessons from Prince George's County's governance and development approach could Liberia potentially adopt to strengthen investor confidence and to improve service delivery? Councilmember.
Thank you so much. And I'm actually going to stand up so people can see me, especially in the back, because I want to introduce myself. For many of you who don't know me, I'm Councilmember Walla Bliguet. My name is from Nimba County. My family's from Nimba County. And I am the only elected official here in the D.C. area. I am a council member in Prince George's County, Maryland. If you live in Prince George's County, please raise your hand. We are doing well. Let me just say this. I am excited. As the only Liberian American elected official here, one of the things that I said is that for Prince George's County, when I got in office in December 5th of 2022, I said, we are going to Liberia. We are going to Liberia, and we are going to Liberia in January. And I want to just make it clear, one of the things that we saw is that Prince George's County has a unique background. We have the wealthiest African American community in the country. And many of that has to do with our Liberian diaspora living in Prince George's County. Maryland has one of the highest African immigrant populations in the country. We're the 5th largest, and Prince George's County is number 1. And I wanted to say this because of that, there's an interest. Our business owners that have been gaining business from doing business in the United States, I said, when you see the government, many of the contractors are from Prince George's County. They are looking at the next venture. What is next? And we've been saying this. This is Africa's century, and this is Liberia's century. Mama Liberia, we are. What I meant to say is no more are we just going to send money home. We've been doing that for decades. It hasn't worked. But now it's time for true investment, industry, trade, and that's what we're pushing. So what we're doing, we did it in Kenya 2 years ago. We matched business. We found the top industries, healthcare, infrastructure, agriculture. We took those industries and we connected our business owners with businesses in Kenya and connected them so they can continue to do business. We will do that in Liberia. Next month, and I've spoken with Honorable Isaac about this, next month we are doing an investment meeting where we're bringing our top investors because they have such an interest in Liberia. Liberia has the unique history of African Americans. They have an interest. And we hear Ghana coming to us, we're the return. No, Liberia is the original return. We are the original return. And we will claim focus on industries. I've already spoken with the ambassador. What we're going to be focusing is on agriculture. Agriculture is key. We have major people, distributors here. There was a distributor I met with a couple weeks ago, and he says, what is the top farm in Liberia that we can take the products and sell it to Giant, Safeway, Whole Foods, all of those things too. We need to talk about the healthcare industry. We have nurses. My cousin is a nurse in Liberia. We have nurses. They have a nursing shortage here. Where can our nurses come? To the United States here to work, to help with our nursing shortage. We can do different types of trade. We have industries all over Prince George's County, and they are ready to connect with their roots. Many of them are getting their blood work. They're saying, I'm from Africa, I'm from West Africa. We'll tell them, come home. So I'm glad we're talking about dual citizenship, because every other country is offering citizenship. It should be Liberia leading in that, offering them. If you come to do trade, we have options for you to be a citizen in this country. But the reality is that with the hunger now, with some of the attack on businesses, they are looking at options. We need to provide the options. What the idea of Liberia is to provide what is the opportunities of agriculture in Liberia. Let's bring all the farmers to the table so they can connect. Let's bring our University of Maryland president said to me the other day, when are we going to work with University of Liberia? We should be connecting them together. We should be looking at the infrastructure, those who are working in infrastructure and construction. We need to look at them and to see what could they do to actually get opportunity. At this point, we lay it out and we say, we're going to connect you with the businesses on Liberia's side when you get there. So when we get there in January, how many are coming with us in January? We want to make sure that everyone knows the investment opportunity, that it is clear to everyone what they can do, and letting the government, letting our business owners know. One of the scares, and this is the honest truth in this room, the elephant. Some people don't trust Africa. They don't trust Liberia. They say, oh, there might be corruption. No, what we want to do is tell them, this is your home. We're going to walk you through. We're not going to take your money without. We want you to invest. We're not here to just take cash for home. We want long-term investment. So we're not going to play you. We're going to have a clear process of how you invest. We're going to have clear process of everything. You will not have any person calling you, sucking you out of cash so that you can get your project approved. That needs to be clear. But I will say this is the time, if we do not take this time, I'm so glad. I thank President Bokai and his administration for putting this forward right now. This is the time. People are aching for where next to invest. And we need to make them know that Liberia is the frontier.
Thank you, Councilmember Bouguet, for such a vibrant yet articulate response. Thank you. Okay, through everything that you have said, you've made a lot of great points as it relates to trade and investment. So I would like to actually circle it back to Chairman Blibo, and as Chairman, could you please expound on some of the investment opportunities for those who are in the diaspora who may be interested in coming back home to invest? Could you please expound on some of those opportunities?
One of the areas that we are trying to focus in on is creation of the diaspora fund that will allow people in the diaspora to invest in Liberia. We understand that many of you support your families and you continue to do so. We want you to continue to do so. But if you're sending, say, $1,000 home, could you send $2,000 or $3,000 home? And I think if we can create such a fund that will enable you to now invest in our country, say, for example, in creation of a feasibility study, for example, then we will give you first right of refusal to take on those projects. Now, one of the drawbacks to diaspora investors is the fact that many of you do not form collaboration with others. You want to do it by yourself, which becomes quite difficult to do. But I think if you can pull your resources together, and you do have a lot of resources, then it's important for you to recognize that in numbers, you can gain quite an opportunity. Now, For example, one of the areas that I think that we do not look into, but other countries have benefited from, is the whole idea of technology. When I say technology, I mean the creation of business processing outsourcing. That's an easy business to get into, and one that we're trying to diaspora get into. Now, India, for example, built its tech base by involving themselves in BPO service. I think it's important to recognize that opportunities do exist in Liberia. I think President Trump, in meeting with our President Boyka, commented that he speaks good English. We have to recognize that we ourselves speak very good English. We are just 4 hours away from the US, or 5 hours depending. 2 hours or 1 hour from England, 2 hours from most continental Europe. So we are in a position to help ourselves and benefit ourselves if we focus in on those opportunities that the diaspora community can easily get into. So I want to encourage you, you do have a lot of resources. Let's pull those resources together. Let's see if we can create the diaspora fund. And the pro tem was here earlier, and she made the comment that we can work together to enhance a lot of laws and stuff in Liberia, and want to support her in that venture. And one of the things I would like to see happen, at the NIC, is the creation of a diaspora desk, so that when you call in for your investment or you're looking for guidance, we can help you, to get to where you need to get to as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Okay, circling back to Councilmember Bliguet. Earlier when you spoke, you referenced that you all are traveling to Liberia in January. How important is it to connect U.S. cities or states and African cities through sister nation programs, trade missions, or shared economic development initiatives? Councilmember?
Thank you so much. I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because we have something that is going to be coming up soon, and there will be an official announcement, but it is in discussion right now. Maryland is on its 250th anniversary, and they're coming up, and they recognize the relationship between the history between Maryland and the Republic of Liberia. The Secretary of State's office has requested, and looking at a sister nation relationship with the Republic of Liberia. And I want to just explain why that's different. Right now, there's only 2 sister states right now, Bond County and Maryland County, with the Republic of Liberia, with the state of Maryland. But we're trying to explain it to the entire country. So then that means that we don't have to pick. It can be in Monrovia, we can work with the University of Liberia, it can be in Nimba County, it can be Kentma County, it can be anywhere we can do the connection. And that will open us up to be able to do the Port of Baltimore. We can work on how connecting our port with the Port of Liberia. And this will be what we're trying to do, but this time when they're looking at it, we're looking at industries. So it's not just open up and just saying it's focusing on industries. That means that it's easier for our state to grab all of our farmers and say, how do we talk about trade with Liberia? It's easier for us to pull any of our big companies that are in the state of Maryland and look at ways that we can connect. But the reality is that sister city relationships are very valuable if used appropriately. They're valuable because it can be a type of exchange. You can outline, these are things that we could work on within industries, and outline those industries. You can connect your schools, your universities at any point. So we're looking at advancing sister city relationships so we can actually look and focused. We have a committee focused on ensuring, reminding the state, reminding the Republic of Liberia of the unique relationship and how we can work together. So we are trying to expand that. We do need the diaspora help, because once we get started, we need you all to start putting together ideas of projects, reaching out to our local business owners and seeing how we connect. And that honestly helps, like a sister city relationship. One thing is that it's continuous. It doesn't stop with one project, but it should be continuous, and that's what we're trying to do throughout the state of Maryland, is increase our sister city relationship. But for the first time, this will be the first country that the state of Maryland does it with. We will be doing Sister Nation, and that is the entire state with the entire Republic of Liberia, and it will be a game changer.
Thank you, Councilmember. Okay, so we've had the opportunity to hear from our esteemed panelists. We would like to open up the floor to one, maybe two of our diasporans in the audience. Let's please limit our commentary to no longer than 1 minute. And if we have a particular question, let us please be direct and let us please be respectful to our panelists. Okay, so to the first question, can I please have someone assist with taking a microphone to someone in the audience, please?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lindora Kuluhawa Diawara. I'm a nonprofit executive. I'm also from Columbus, Ohio. I'm excited to City Council member in the House. I work with the City of Columbus as the Community Relations Coordinator of the New American Program, but also the administrative coordinator of the Commission on Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. In this country, I know exactly how government prioritizes the needs of its people. Opportunities, specific opportunities our government has for us, so that we're not just seen as market for our money. And so from my own experience, one of the things recently in terms of the nonprofit sector, sending money back home to people we work with, I realized that, I don't know if others have had that experience, sending money through SendWave, the rules are changing. I sent money to my foundation, and they told me, no, we don't use commercial cards. And I said, but we're a nonprofit. They said, no. They are now pushing us to send money as individuals and increase the tax rate on those funds sent. Western Union is also doing the same. We have Donor Advice Fund. We had a charity who sent money to someone, but decided that they would transfer it through our foundation, which we also allow. And when we did that, it took me 2 weeks to get that money sorted out. I was between SendWave, money, Western things out. At some point, I feel like the guy's wallet was empty. They rejected the money. And so it's become difficult. And I'm like, are we doing the right thing? So in terms of investment, are you all aware of some of these changing policies? And what are you putting in place to help ease some of those stresses for us as diaspora Liberians? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we actually have one more question or... Excuse me, my apologies. Let's please settle down for a second. Please settle down. Thank you so much.
It's important to recognize that...
Settle down, please, settle down.
It's important to recognize that we are changing as a business and as a people for opportunities. one of the key party that we have in our country are the banks. And the banks have to engineer how they stay relevant. So I'm not sure of the exact policy, but our finance minister is here. We can speak to that.
Well, generally, I just wanted to say that.
Settle down, please.
I just wanted to say that there are a lot of initiatives that we have on the way to attract Liberians back home in more tangible ways. Conversation with the U.S. Development Finance Corporation, the DFC, in order to get financing for investment in Liberia at low rates, at low levels, thresholds. I encourage Liberians who are Americans to take up some of the opportunities that are coming up. We are deliberate and intentional of trying to increase quote-unquote American business footprints in Liberia. It is a good coincidence if the person is American, but it's also Liberian. And some of you are in that category. We are linking with some of the opportunities that are coming up. There is, through the World Bank, there is International Finance Corporation. They are also, we are talking to them, and they've decided now they're going to be putting equity in businesses. So we've had some meetings already linking some Liberian American entities, some folks here. Yesterday I had some conversations. And some of you that are interested, please let us know. The DFC has some financing for agribusiness and other opportunities. So it's one thing we are doing in terms of financing. You may not be able to have all the funds, but funds are available that you can leverage in order to help. Now, in terms of making things easier, through the central bank, we are working on what we call a national payment switch, so as to have a 24-hour economy that you can sit anywhere and transact. Like one of the challenges people face is clearing goods from the port. And actions have been taken to resolve that problem. We visited the port and wanted to talk with all the stakeholders and found out that the port, we don't have a 24-hour port service. The port closes, before they were closing around 4 p.m. because the folks from the Liberia Revenue Authority and the banks, they have to go back home. Now, they are doing night service, even at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, continuous during the port. This is a good start, but the payment switch we are working on will ensure that someone can pay for his or her service anywhere, anytime. And so the turnaround period for your container in the port will shrink, because one of the huge costs is the cost of demurrage when your container remains in the port longer. So that's going to reduce materially. It is a World Bank project. We funded it too. We wanted them to deliver it by this December. There are 1 or 2 delays, but we're making sure that sometime next year, sometime before the middle of next year, the payment switch is on. Now, I think by the end of this month, the biggest step towards the process is starting, whereby the 2 mobile companies, we have mobile money, we have the Lone Star, we have Orange. Those that have mobile money or those that cannot transfer money to Orange because they are not interoperable. We've worked on it through the central bank. I think by the end of this month or early next month, people will be able to transfer across services. This is part of the deeper digitalization process. We are digitizing the economy. It's going to upscale. So when we reach the payment switch, it's going to have banking services. It's going to have all the kind of services that can make the economy to be a 24-hour economy. So some of those challenges you are facing, my sister, I don't know all the details. We know that there are anti-money laundering requirements that have gone up. Maybe it's on account of that, but let us know the detail of your situation and whatever we can do to help it. If it's not on account of those other matters, what government can do, we will do to ensure that you operate with your country seamlessly. So this is what I want to add up, and that we at the Ministry of Finance, working with the Foreign Ministry, there are some actions that have been taken, but I don't want to jump the gun. To make it easier for you in the diaspora, the Foreign Ministry people here will tell you more about that.
Thank you, Minister Gafuan. Truly appreciate that. Now, it's been brought to my attention that we actually have an online question. So if one of you can, please read the question.
Okay, the question is, I'm a Liberian, started realfoundation.org, but it closed down because of self-funding. Became very difficult and strenuous, but my husband are definitely in the process of establishing farming in Bong. My question is, how easy is it to have a meeting to consult when it comes to picking up again? It's been very challenging.
To answer your question, I don't know the specificity of the challenges that you're faced with, but we are trying to make it as seamlessly as possible to help our people in the diaspora through incentivizing them based on the businesses that they endeavor into. Now, agriculture is one area that is a preferred sector for which we will grant incentives. Now, there are two models of incentives. There's the short-term incentives for 3 years that we will provide to an investor, depending on what the investor wants, whether it's GST tax waiver, imputation of taxes and things. We can accommodate that. And then there's the long-term incentives, which is granted by the legislature. So depending on what it is that the investor wants, I think the first basis is to sit with us to understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and then we'll work together to help you realize that. But I must say that we are interested in getting the diaspora community to invest back home in the country. So thank you.
Absolutely. So we'll have some commentary from our Minister of Agriculture to be able to expound on that question.
Hello. All right. The next question is, my name is Momo Taylor, lecturer.
Minister Nuta.
Here's the question. My name is Momo Taylor, lecturer and postdoctoral for Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering at Rutgers University. One of the challenges affecting investment opportunities from Liberians in the diaspora is ineffectiveness of the Liberianization policy. So the question here basically is, what can be done to review the laws regarding the Liberianization policy to make sure that it's effective and it works for every Liberian who wants to invest.
So the Liberianization policy is part of the 2010 Investment Act, which obviously is a foundational act meant to encourage both diaspora investors and foreign investors. So we're trying to strike a balance, right? And one of the things that the act does is, for example, prevent expropriation of investments, for example. But the Liberalization Act talks about a 16 preferential treatment of Liberians' businesses that only Liberians can get into. We will support that. We recognize that there are challenges, but I think many Liberians who also want to endeavor in other sectors other than just the 16 set aside, you're welcome too, and we will support you in that venture, both in terms of the 16 set aside, as the speaker has said, as well as investment in other sectors.
Thank you, Chairman. We're going to have some brief commentary from our Honorable Minister Nuta, Minister of Agriculture. Minister Nuta.
Thank you. Agriculture is the A, like the Minister of Finance says it, but there are great opportunities in Liberia for those who want to invest in agriculture. We're going to be expanding more on that in the next section. But for clarity of the information that she requested, if you want to venture into farming right now, the first thing you have in Liberia is the incentive that the government provides. You can bring in all your equipment, your inputs free, duty free. You're not going to pay a dime when you come to Liberia. And what we are also trying to do as a government is to facilitate your activities. We are now establishing mechanization service centers across the country to facilitate mechanized farming. So I met a lady out there who says she has 100 acres of land that she wants to invest into. We have the land in Liberia. What we are doing is to facilitate your investment. So you will have machines that you will go and pay some fees to use to do your work. So the government is also trying to make sure that most of the major corridors where agriculture is doing well, we facilitate access. So the feeder road project that we have at the Ministry of Agriculture is creating that opportunity for you. So they are there in abundance. We will expand on those when we get to the next section. So keep your questions on agriculture, we will address them. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Nuta. So if you all have any additional questions, we will be here to mingle, engage with you all. So to close, I know some of you yesterday had the privilege of engaging with His Excellency Boakai. Wanted to go ahead and give him his special thanks and recognition as it relates to everything he's doing to revitalize the Republic of Liberia. As I close, I would like to say that Liberia is moving forward with clarity, transparency, and partnership at the heart of its vision under the Arrest Agenda. So today's dialogue shows that when government, investors, and diaspora work together, we can turn Liberia's vast potential into shared prosperity. Let us continue to build confidence in not just words, but with action. So on behalf of the Office of the Special Envoy for U.S. Trade and Investment under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I would like to thank each of our panelists for your participation today. I would like to also give a special thanks to our diaspora community. Again, as stated, we will have the opportunity to engage further, and to our partners for engaging in this crucial conversation. Thank you all so much. Have a good day.
is a great opportunity for you to ask these questions. But we even have a greater opportunity tomorrow because we have a town hall meeting where the president himself may be able to answer your questions. The vendors who are in the lobby ask that you please stop by their booths and displays. They have business products, hospitality and development, advocacy and social impact, and they have an author's corner. So during lunch break, which comes up at 12:30, because we have a hard stop at 12:30 for lunch. So before we get into that, we have one more panel discussion, and we have something special to show you. This is a special feature. We've been hearing about investments in Liberia. And sometimes the most powerful way to tell a story is not through words alone, but through images and voices that bring this message alive. So we invite you to experience a short video entitled 10 Reasons to Invest in Liberia. The feature highlights opportunities, strengths, and a unique advantage that makes Liberia a destination for growth and investment. Please turn your attention to the screens as we present 10 reasons to invest in Liberia.
Welcome to Liberia, an emerging gem on the west coast of Africa. Today, we are diving into 10 compelling reasons why investing in Liberia could be one of your smartest business decisions. From resources to resilience, let's explore what makes Liberia an exciting investment destination. Reason number 1, abundant natural resources. Liberia is rich in natural resources including iron ore, gold, diamond, and timber. The country is blessed with fertile land that supports agriculture, providing a mammoth opportunity in farming and agribusiness. Reasons number 2, agricultural potential. With 37% of the population engaged in farming, Liberia offers significant agricultural potential. From palm oil to rubber, from coffee to cocoa, the demand for substantial farming practices has never been higher. This presents a unique opportunity for investors looking to tap into agribusiness. Reasons number 3, infrastructure development. Investments in road, energy, water supply, and housing are crucial for growth and development. By investing in infrastructure projects, you can play a part in shaping Liberia's future while reaping substantial returns. Reasons number 4, youth and dynamic workforce. Liberia has a youthful population eager for employment and skills development. This demographic dividend offers a robust labor force ready to be trained and developed, making it ideal for businesses looking for innovative minds and hard workers. Reasons number 5, government support for foreign investment. The Liberian government is committed to attracting foreign direct investment through a range of incentives such as tax holidays, investment guarantees, and streamlined processes. Liberia is rolling out a red carpet for global investors. Reasons number 6, renewable energy potential. With abundant resources for hydropower, solar, and wind energy, Liberia offers numerous opportunities in the renewable energy sector. Investing in clean energy can help meet rising demand while contributing to global sustainable goals. Reason number 7, tourism opportunity. Liberia is on the rise as a tourist destination. From stunning beaches and to rich cultural heritage, there's tremendous potential in ecotourism and hospitality sectors, making it a prime investment area for those in the tourism industry. Reason number 8, emerging market economy. Liberia's economy is progressively developing, characterized by growth in key sectors. As an emerging market, now is the perfect time to invest, benefiting from early mover advantages and positioning yourself strategically in a growing economy. Reason number 9, growth in technology and innovation. As digital adoption continues to rise, so does the growth of the tech sector in Liberia. From mobile payments to e-commerce, the market is ripe for investments in tech startups and related services. Reason number 10, positive impact and corporate social responsibility. Investing in Liberia isn't just about profit, it is also about creating positive impact. By contributing to local development, education, and healthcare, investors can help transform communities while enhancing their brands through corporate social responsibility.
Hello, welcome. We are back again. This is the Liberian Radio Television Network, and we are the feedback and evaluation team of the Liberian Annual Diaspora Conference. I'm the Reverend Dr. J. Edwin Lloyd Jr. I'm here also with Honorable Sekou Keita, and I also am here with Honorable John F. Lloyd. We'll start with Honorable Keita to introduce himself and tell me exactly what he's engaged in his work.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and to the gentleman there, thank you as well. My name is Sekou Keita. I am the chairman of the Liberia Technology Summit, the organizing committee. I'm also chairman and founder of Ducor Technology Energy Solutions, that is IT and energy focused in Liberia.
Mr. Lloyd?
Yeah, I'm John Lloyd. I'm chairman of the Coalition of Concerned Liberians, and I'm the former chairman of the last Liberian Diaspora Conference that was held a few years ago, approximately a little over 5 years ago. I'm glad to join you here, and this is a wonderful engagement.
There's a question to pose to both of you, and you can start Honorable Keita. What's your general impression about the conference so far?
Well, look, we have to give flowers to those that birthed this idea. I want to say thank you to His Excellency President Joseph Boakai for initiating this incredible dialogue. As someone that has been in the diaspora now for 33 years, I think it's long overdue that we have strategic conversations on how do we leverage the diaspora community to come back to Liberia, to not look at ourselves as better, but as complementary to what those that are in Liberia have actually been doing. My overall impression so far, everywhere you go, there's the buzz around. Liberians are really happy to see each other. There are a lot of individuals, professional individuals that I haven't seen for a very long time. I'm glad for us to reconnect here. Such an opportunity where we are talking about reconciliation, we are talking about investment, we are talking about, again, how do we connect our children, our heritage to Liberia beyond the point of them knowing cassava leaf or potato grains? How do we make sure that they get connected? These type of conversations are really important. But again, the idea is to leverage what we have in the diaspora to work together, go back home and take ownership of our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Keita. Mr. Lloyd?
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'll join my friend Mr. Keita in commending the President, Joseph Boakai, and the leaders and organizers of this conference for this wonderful initiative to engage the Liberian diaspora. I think this is long overdue. The act on the part of the Liberian government to bring the host of their leadership here, government officials, heads of strategic government agencies like finance, agriculture, national investment, to reach out to the diaspora and engage them one-on-one. I think it's a step forward. We witnessed the president yesterday in the speech where he called upon Liberians to go back home and stating that there's nowhere else like home. Now, as we engage, today and even in the aftermath of the speech yesterday, we've seen that officials have given details to Liberians on how the hurdles of investment can be removed. Barriers including, clearing things off from the port, the land dispute issues, and infrastructure development are all key issues that have been on the minds of Liberians. And I think as we engage in this conference and as the conference unfolds, we're seeing that the engagement of the Liberian government officials and the details that have been laid out, they may not be perfect, but at least it's a step forward. And I think we in the diaspora too can join our people and see how we can uplift our country. One thing that has to be removed is that negative concept, that wall between Liberians in the diaspora and those at home, where some may feel that the fear that others may be coming to Liberia to take over what they have. But we have to remember that we are all one. And the development of our country is a cohesive effort that will take Liberians abroad and Liberians at home. And I think the end result will be of the ultimate benefits, especially for those who are home. So we embrace this opportunity, and again, we commend the government for this initiative.
Thank you very much, Honorable Lloyd. Honorable Keita, you're an expert in the information technology sector. Information technology is growing rapidly in Africa. But how can Liberia harness this great information technology advantage that that's in Africa today? How can the expertise, personal growth when it comes to education, the resources necessary to have a vibrant economic information technology sector in Liberia. So what is the office or organization is doing to be able to bridge that gap that Liberia is currently facing when it comes to information technology?
Right, that's actually a great question. Everything that we're doing here today about and for the diaspora community, the only thing that really connects all of us is technology. We can't go back to doing things the analog way, the manual way. We have to use technology. We all talk about the benefits of ICT or technology. What I would encourage us to focus on are the dangers of technology. And that is, everything that you do around technology these days is about data. That's the most important thing. Who owns your data? Who has access to your data? Who controls your data? Throughout our history, it's shown that Africa was colonized using our resources. Well, the resources are not so important anymore. The most important resource that we have right now is data. You look at data, you follow data, you will see the amount of wealth that is being made, is being generated because of data. A common example is Larry Ellison. In one day, he added over $100 billion to his network because of what Oracle, his company, does when it comes to data harnessing. As we look at data, one of the things I'm actually encouraged about, and this is not me here beating the drums for this administration, one of the things the president did recently was to introduce the Data Protection Act in Liberia. How do we protect data of Liberian citizens in Liberia? How can we monetize those data? Facebook, TikTok, if you are in Liberia, based on your location, the algorithm, you as a Liberian content creator, you cannot financially benefit from your following. TikTok, go to Sierra Leone, they're actually doing it now. TikTok can pay you, Facebook can pay you. In Liberia, we don't have that tool, we don't have that access. Another way we can use the ICT to protect ourselves is through a great project program. So that's a $30 million project that was instituted by the World Bank. it's all about good governance with a focus on deploying digital tools and technology to make sure we are transparent, to make sure that the Liberian people can track every single government money.
Thank you.
Every single government project. You can't do it if you don't have ICT in place. But again, I'm encouraged that we are having this year. Our people back home are able to see us here. They are able to follow, all because of what? ICT, information and communication technology. We can't do anything better if we don't use and harness technology to our best. But again, because it's too good, you must recognize the dangers that come to it if you don't protect yourself.
Information technology is a driving force of the economies of this world today, and so therefore I'm glad that the boycott government is taking some key steps in bridging that gap and also harnessing the opportunities and the potential of information technology to be able to propel economic and social growth in Liberia. Thank you very much. Let me quickly go to Mr. Lloyd. Mr. Lloyd, you heard the development plan that was explained or presented by the finance minister. What is your opinion concerning the development plan of the boycott government?
Well, I commend the boycott government for his development plan as laid out. I see it as a work in progress. A lot of focus has been made towards engaging the international community, the World Bank, the IFC, the U.S. government, and others for aid. I think the step in the right direction is what is being done now to engage the diaspora. We see a future for Liberia where we can disengage ourselves from dependency upon international organizations and foreign governments. The real development will come through our self-help development and our innovation within our various industries and the economy as a whole. So I think the president's attempt and engage the international community maybe to create a seed fund. An economy coming from the shadows of war and economic devastation really need a facelift. But we hope that these engagements will be temporary and that the long-term development of our country will be engaging Liberians to build up our own economy and to come up with more creative and innovative means by which we can tap into the resources of our country. You know, the vast wealth of our mineral resources and our basic natural resources that we have also, and the diaspora also, to gin up, you know, the basic foundation of our community and our economy, basically to lift that country from where it's at. We cannot do it in isolation, but at the same time, we cannot do it through dependency.
This conference focusing on diaspora engagement in the various areas in which the current government of Liberia can engage the diaspora, considering the fact that the diaspora has great economic potential. This question goes to both of you. So what do you think, how should the government prioritize diaspora engagement? I know the conference is a step, but in the process of engaging for sustainability, for growth, and for long-term development, what should be the priority when it comes to diaspora engagement?
You know, I think we've already started that. The fact that we're having this diaspora conference, it's critically important that we continue these conversations. We can leverage what we have here. You can leverage your education, you can leverage your experiences, you can leverage your network, you can leverage your access to capital, you can leverage your access to money, to finances. We should start thinking about an investment wheel where Liberians in the diaspora can come together, put their money. Consider like the Qatari investment fund. Why can't Liberians create a Liberian investment fund? Within that fund, we can look at specific affordable stocks. We can look at investing into Liberian tech unicorns, in innovation projects. We can take that money, again, put it into the stock markets, look at S&Ps. We know that we are going to get a return on investment. Most investments, obviously, we know comes with a risk, but the idea is leverage what we have You putting $100 into a $1,000 bucket shows you that you have leveraged your exposure to a loss. So if all of us put our money together at smaller amounts, God forbid something happens, you lose a small amount. But the idea is to pool our resources. We don't necessarily have to always run to donor partners to look for funding.
Yes.
Let's start funding some of these activities out of what we do here. If anyone can tell you about remittances that goes to Liberia from the diaspora community, it's too much. Yes. Why can't we tax some of those remittances? Donald Trump just announced that remittances that go outside of the U.S., there's going to be a 5% tax. So let's look at remittances that are coming in Liberia. Let's tax it at 1%. Every little thing that we get, we put it in the bucket as an investment deal. We can take and reinvest in the market here. But also invest in a specific focus project in Liberia. That's how I would say, you know what, again, the conversation has already started. The fact that we are all here, people from California, people from Jersey, people from Maryland, people from Liberia, it's an encouraging start. I hope that this is an annual event going forward. But my last point today is, what comes out of this? We need actions. We need tangible things that we can put our hand on to say, you know what, we actually did this. So maybe within the next 1 year, before the next event, we can say we have $1 million in an investment deal that comes from the diaspora. Let's start there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What's the last comment, Mr. Lloyd?
I would just segue on where Keita just left, talking about the results, tangible results of the conference. And that's a warning, also to the government and the organizers. If this conference has a heavy responsibility, and that is to lay the groundwork for the future success of gatherings like this. If tangible results are not realized after this conference, it will become a hurdle to the success and the future of other similar conferences, which are important to the development of our country. But in order, my best advice to the government in terms of engaging the diaspora is to remove some of the hurdles that the diaspora constantly complain about in terms of reinvesting in Liberia or even returning home. The land issue, people who buy property back home from here, how do they maintain their property and how do they guarantee, their property? How do they clear, goods off the free port without, hurdles? Infrastructure development, key issues like light, water, and the consistency of power services in the country that will allow the free flow of investors. Having the opportunity of Liberians engaging others in the diaspora, taking them back home without the embarrassment of bribes and these other hurdles that we face. Once we remove these barriers, we will encourage more investment into our country, and then we can tap into the millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, within the economy of our diaspora, and the country can begin the process of development. There's a whole lot that we can say, but I think we'll leave that to the unfolding process.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for your insight at this moment. And we're looking forward to a prosperous future. And this is a good start. And we are optimistic about the future. Thank you very much again for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Pleasure.
I'm pretty sure our presenter will be happy to make some of that information available, because I know there's a lot there to unpack and there might be some questions, so please make sure you follow up. While we wait for our tech, I hope you're taking consideration of my time with the tech situation. So if it wasn't LRA, I would say let's move on, but this is a very important part of our, All right, we'll keep moving on. Once the tech is set up and ready, we'll come back to that. I would like to invite Dr. J. Alexander Nuta, our Minister of Agriculture, at this point, who will be taking us through his summer presentation. And on my panels, I got so it's hard to keep them to time, but I will try with Dr. Nuta. You're welcome, sir.
Agriculture is actually virtual. It's not something that you can just talk about. It's good to see what we're talking about. So I think we've got a presentation there. I just want to speak about one slide to tell you the great potential the country Liberia has. Liberia is a blessing to every one of us. It should be surprising to every one of us why we can't feed ourselves as a country when we have so much endowment as a country. I wonder, excuse me, just present for me, just put on the slide the celebrated map. Let me talk about that. We'll look at this video. So, Liberia has more than 9.6 million hectares of land. And of that land, you have over 4 million hectares that are good for production. It means you can grow anything in Liberia and you succeed in doing it. Liberia is one of the countries in Africa that has abundant rainfall. You experience more than 4,000 millimeters of rainfall every year on average. Liberia is the only country in Africa that has over 43% of the remaining forests we have. Yesterday, Liberia imports most of what we eat. We are a rice-eating country, but we are importing over 50% of the rice we eat in the country. Is that not a problem for us? It is, right? We need you to come and help us solve that problem. So what we have been able to do is to identify key commodities that we think the potential lies in improving our economy and addressing the issue of food insecurity. It bothers me when we hear that 38% of our population go to sleep with inadequate food. About 38% of our population, our young kids, are also undernourished, only because we are not growing sufficient food to take care of them. And we can change that. The opportunity is there for you as diaspora Liberians to come and make investment. People will say, well, the population of Liberia may be small for those of you who are in the diaspora. You may not have sufficient market for what you grow there. But I can tell you, Liberia spends more than $200 million annually to import rice. And if you combine our food import bill, including all of the other ones, not just rice, we are spending over $400 million yearly. When we could grow the food that we eat, we could raise the birds that we eat, we could produce the eggs that we eat, and let that money stay in the country for investment. I want to show you the pride of your country. We have been able to identify suitable locations across the country where you can grow just anything, focusing on the first 5 commodities that we have identified as our legacy commodities. It means those are the priority commodities that Liberia really wants to invest in. This is Liberia. Like I told you, we import over 50% of the rice we eat. But if you look at the map over there, Liberia has the potential to grow more rice. In fact, the map you see out there, we just focus on the lowland, the swamp. Those of you who come from Liberia, the lowland. We have identified over 460,000 hectares in the country that you can grow rice on. And if you grow rice in Liberia on 460,000 hectares, that's too much rice. That can feed our country, and you can export the excess. We look at cassava. Cassava is another potential for the women and the young people who want to generate sufficient income in the country, and for those of you in the diaspora who are supporting women engagement. You can support women to grow cassava. You can support women youth to grow cassava. And when they grow cassava, the market is there for it. So let me tell you what we are doing for rice and cassava before I move to the other three commodities. For those who are into rice production, in Liberia, we have a program that supports them. Our target in the NADP is to be able to develop just 50,000 hectares of those 460,000 hectares we identified. And if we do that as Liberians, we will feed ourselves. Right now, if you grew rice in Liberia on 1 hectare, you will be just realizing 1.5 metric tons per hectare. But that's not the potential. In other countries now, they are doing 3 hectares minimum. They are doing 5. They are doing up to 8. Here in the U.S., you grow rice here, you got more than 12 metric tons per hectare here in the U.S. The technology is here. And you as diaspora Liberians have access to this technology. You can leverage your connection and bring those technologies back to Liberia and begin to grow rice. If you will just develop 100 hectares and you grow it 3 times, you will be able to contribute. If we can develop 50,000 hectares of land, we should be able to grow more than 50 or 400,000 metric tons of rice annually. And that can solve our problem. Liberians last year ate 516,000 metric tons. And we imported over 60% of that. If you went to Liberia and invested into rice production, we will have market for it. Besides Liberia, in West Africa, the 16 West African countries spend $9 billion on rice importation in West Africa. And Liberia is part of that block. If you grew rice in Liberia, you will export to other markets. So we are encouraging you to bring your investment to Liberia. Come and invest in rice production. This is agriculture. It's agriculture. I would like to give. So, yes, and we are talking about what goes to our heart, right? But look, you can do a lot with rice. We are inviting investors. Our farmers are growing rice everywhere in the country. You will see the video. But what we lack is the value addition aspects. We want you to come as diaspora Liberians, come and establish a rice processing facilities, buy the paddy from the farmers, process it and put it on the market. We will buy it from you. You will also be able to export to the U.S. There's a guy in Minnesota who brings in the red rice from Liberia. The market is there. You can grow the red rice in Liberia, you will export it here, you get a lot of money out of that. What we are doing is, we are facilitating the land preparation for our smallholder farmers so they grow more rice in the lowland. For cassava, for a long time we have been growing cassava in patches. So what we try to do as a government is to organize women and young people into clusters. We put you on the 100-acre parcel of land, and the government supports you with land preparation. We develop the land for you. We give you improved varieties of cassava for you to plant. So if you have family back that you want to support, you can support them. We will have market for them. We have tried our best as a government to establish mechanization centers. We have 13 of them across the country. We got them in Bond, in Lofa, in Grand Cape Mount, in Mosavado County, in Nimba, to be able to create access to machinery for farmers who want to carry on mechanized production. We want you to take that and come to Liberia and invest. So I go to maize. Liberia imports all the poultry products, not the egg, but the breaded meat. The chicken meat we eat in Liberia, most of them are imported. It hurts me. You import chicken feet into your country. And people like to do that. So, I said, no, I don't eat chicken feet. Because it's demeaning, right? But that's a reality. And the reason why we are not doing well with our poultry industry is because we import all of the poultry feed. So the intent of the government is to make sure we expand production of maize. If we grow more maize in the country, we will have the raw material that goes into the production of the animal feed. So this is a market opportunity for you, investment opportunity for you. You can come to Liberia and establish a feed mill. We work with you to support producers of maize. And when they produce, we buy the maize for them and process it into animal feed. And that feed will be used to revive and make our poultry industry vibrant. The challenge I have is the president always tells me when he was Minister of Agriculture, they never imported any poultry product. That means I'm not doing my job. I want you to help me to do my job. You have to come to Liberia to help us to start importing poultry products. And you see coffee. Coffee. For those of you who are in the diaspora and those of you who are back in Liberia, back in the days, we exported what we call coffee Liberica. And if you read the history of Liberica, Liberica coffee won the first prize in the U.S. here in 1776. In 1876, at a fair, a Liberian coffee that came from Africa in 1876 won prize, and that was Liberica. Liberica was one of our pride during the good old days, as we call it. But today, the production of Liberica has dropped because of neglect. So we have identified over 1.1 million hectares in the country that is suitable for Liberica coffee production. We want to support our farmers to grow more coffee. You can also purchase from those who are growing coffee, and let Starbucks be selling Liberica coffee. You have that access. You can make it happen. It is an opportunity for you who are in the diaspora.
There are some folks from Liberia.
Liberia is green. We seek for oil palm. More than 3 billion hectares.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Isaac Carto, here speaking on LRN TV, going live. And we're here with one of our own, Honorable Wada Blege, the councilwoman from Prince George's County, here in the Washington, D.C. Metroplex. And we're speaking to you here from the Liberia Annual Diaspora Conference. And we are honored to be speaking with the council lady today. And my fellow interviewer is going to be our great dynamic president,
Lucy Wilson here, and I am so glad that our councilwoman is here, because it's not just this conference. Our councilwoman worked with us during the DED challenges, from churches to schools to various areas within the Maryland area. So I am so proud and happy today that our council lady decided to come to this conference, because she is so wanting for Liberia to grow and be out there on the world map. And so you're welcome.
Thank you so much. And I just want to thank both of you, because the truth is, everyone wouldn't know, but I would not be in my position without both of you. You all were there when I started. You all remember when I first ran for state rep before I became a council member. And that was 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And prior before, you were there when I had our first meet and greet when I was running my first time. And so I have history with both of you, and I do appreciate you all helping me get to my place. This is what the diaspora does. We help each other, and you all knew the importance of representation, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember we were there in the rain, and you were taking us all around, and we fought for those folks, and we got a pass for all Liberians. So thank you very much for that. So now this kind of takes me to my next topic, I guess. You were just up there, you gave a dynamic speech, you were part of the panel. Can you just summarize it for the audience that are watching, what exactly that was about, and why was it so important to get that message across?
Well, just letting people know that today is Liberia's century. We have many people in our community. Prince George's County is one of the wealthiest African American communities in the country. Many have want to have connections to Africa, and we're trying to say Liberia is that place. I even joke that Ghana has come to the county and say, we're the return, and I said, no, Liberia is the original return, and what we need to do is that let people know that Liberia is a place that they can call as a second home, and that opens us up for investment. We have a lot of business owners. I've got one, Brunson Cooper, who owns Cornick Construction, where he's making millions of dollars, and now he says, I'm going to Ghana because I need to spread my wealth. Now we can tell him Liberia is an option. We as a county are going to Liberia in January. We are going to have an investment meeting later on in October. So we're telling people now, there's no harm in giving money through remittance, and we know we're talking to the Liberian community getting money, but the way that we get the true transformation of Liberia is investment in industries, whether it be agriculture as being discussed, or like solar, power to energy, or infrastructure, healthcare, all of those. We have those businesses that are interested. They're hungry to look at investment. And what we want to say is you go through Prince George's County, you can do it safely. So we're going to make sure people feel comfortable investing in Liberia. Understand that although Liberia is in its transformation, it's better to get on the early train, because when it bursts up, we'll say that you were there at the beginning. And that's what we want people to feel. So that's what I talked about. I want the Liberian, now I'm speaking with the Liberian government to let them know, help us make it easy. Outline the opportunities of investment, whether it's infrastructure, healthcare, agriculture. Let people feel that you know that you can connect them one-on-one. We did this in Kenya in 2023. We actually have a team now that's in Korea right now. And what we're letting people know is that we're going to connect them business to business, opportunity to opportunity, and that the government will help them. And we're not going to, the government and the representatives government will not take anybody's money without, it's going to be a true, fair process.
So I'm so happy that you're here, because President Walker did not just come alone. He brought all his ministers, so they are all here in the house. And you are so motivated, not only because of this conference, but when Liberia really needed you, your support, and you better use that to make sure that we all, most of the Liberians right now either have a green card or they have a citizenship and whatnot. So your motivation is infectious. I'm thinking, how will you motivate others, not only in Georges County, but the entire diaspora? How will you do that so that people, more Liberians, when you're Liberian American, how can you motivate, using yourself as an example, to make sure that Liberians are motivated, Liberian Americans are motivated to go back and invest?
Well, we have to be our own champions. I would say this, when I first got in office, for Africa now, people are looking at Ghana and Nigeria with Afrobeat. It's so sexy, but it's one of those things you can stay quiet and say, well, maybe people won't be interested. But I said, no, Liberia is important. And people say, oh, well, let's look to Liberia. The truth is, if we actually put it out there, everybody would have an interest. Liberia, some people still remember the connection. We got to remind put us back at the top, because Africa is the frontier. They said that it has the youngest workforce. In the next by 2050, they said at least a third of the population in Africa will be in young age, under 25. So it is the frontier anyway. People are talking about it all over. So now it's time for us to put Liberia as a part of that discussion. If you're talking about doing investment in Africa, Liberia is that place. We know our parents saw a different Liberia before the war. We're going to bring it back to what it was before the war. And now this conference is just sending the right message. So when people see this, they're going to say, okay, it's time to start investing. And we're telling all the diaspora, push it. Let us be the ambassadors for the country, and it will return to its greatness.
Yeah, we've interviewed a lot of people from yesterday to now, but I'm so glad that you came on the show, because you are one of the strongest backbone that we know have really helped us to bring us here, and I'm so happy that you're here. And I don't know whether...
So just before we go, just to wrap up, do you have any final message, especially for the audience back home, to them about this conference or anything else? Yeah.
Well, just letting you know, we understand. Some of you might say, well, where's the help? It's coming. It's not fast enough, but the truth is right now there's a focus on Africa, and we here with this conference have been given the actual message, push Liberia, and we will, and help is on the way as we continue to do it in the next 10 years. It takes time. As a council member, it's frustrating because everything takes time, but when you see the end results, it will be transformational.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for your time, man.
So on behalf of LRTN, we want to say thank you, Councilwoman. We're looking forward to engaging you at the ULA level also, because your presence needs to be felt there.
Thank you.
And we want to say thank you for our audience. Again, this is the Liberian Diaspora Annual Conference 2025 with our own Councilwoman. Councilwoman Wallaby.
All right, she is one of our own, and we claim her.
Hello again. Welcome back. We have with us a very, very inspiring young Liberian, a dynamic young Liberian, Dr. Rogers. Dr. Rogers wears many hats, but we'll just give him a chance to introduce himself and give us a gist of what he is engaged in.
Oh, well, thank you so much. My name is Bill Rogers, and a former Liberian athlete, representing Liberia in many places. And today I got blessed to land in the United States, where I utilize the power of sport to transform my life and see where I am today as a full-time professor at Houston-Tellurson University, where I teach in the kinesiology department at Houston-Tellurson University, one of the great historical university who just received $150 million from one single-handed family, the Moody family. I want to send a shout out to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rogers. Listen to your story, a story of endurance, a story where you rose above your situation. You have represented Liberia on the international stage, and despite all of the difficulties you had in your upbringing, you managed to chat your way to the top. And it's an encouragement for young people who face difficult times. And your endurance is a story, and that is very inspiring, and also can be able to enlighten younger Liberians of the possibilities that are out there once you are very determined to succeed. So what have been one of the key motivating factors of your success?
Well, Thank you very much. That's a good message. And coming from the dark world in Liberia, when the Liberia were in the dark movement, historical time, but I think the dark continue to be the dark. Explore and make the transformation for myself. When Liberia was fighting war, I was up there in Kenya, Nairobi, representing Liberia with a black club, and that gave me the spirit of empowerment as well to continue to strive. But coming from my upbringing, as you said, as a young man that was destroyed with a pain and broken heart from Liberia, yet instead I didn't allow that pain to continue to cover me, but I utilized my pain to strive to make the transformation for myself and my fellow friends in Liberia and around in the sporting industry as well. I utilized the power of sport to transform my life. And seeing me today coming to the United States, where my parents didn't see me going to school at all. My parents have not seen me in a uniform as well. My daddy have never given me a pencil as well. And I stay here, as I said, in the pain, sorrowful mind story. I was destroyed. I was kidnapped in Liberia, chopped up with 2 toes, chopped up in the forest. But yet and still, I didn't give up. I continued to utilize that because I wanted to play soccer. I love the game of soccer so much but I didn't have the chance to play because my friends would never had the opportunity to put me on the field because they think that I have some limitation. But yet and still, I didn't allow my limitation to stop me. I continued to push through. And why before getting on the soccer pitch, they would ask me to jog around the field. They will prepare me for the transformation. They will prepare me for the career change. They will prepare me for something that will transform my life today. Not knowing I didn't know nothing about track and field. And today, that running that I was doing, it gave me another historical factor in my life. And where I represented Liberia, listed on the 2004 Olympic Games. I found myself in the great United States of America. I utilized sport, track and field to go to various colleges in the United States. Numerous scholarships. I want to give a special gratitude. It didn't happen just by Bill alone. Dr. Grace Thinking, one of the trauma surgeons in Los Angeles, came to Liberia as a 3-time Olympian. Saw the potential in young men like me. He said, Bill, what do you want to do? I said, I want to run, but I didn't know. I want to run. And she gave me a shout out. When I came from Hungary, she gave me a shout out and said, Bill, I will find a way for you. Send me to Kenya, Nairobi, where I train at Cape Kendo training camp, one of the renowned runner in Kenya. That Cape Kendo. That man took me like a son, and he strengthened me, empowered me, gave me the chance and the ability. Then I found myself in the United States, El Camino College in Los Angeles, where I decided to run, and I was given a full scholarship right on the spot. Today, I found myself in El Paso, and today I found myself in Austin, Texas on a full athletic scholarship where I utilized my power as a sport athlete, and now today I have my master in sport administration, sport development, recreation program. But I've been wondering with this firing question in my heart. A lot of parents look up to Bill, they want their children to play for Liberia. But what is the insurance for their kids to play to Liberia? And I want to have a question that how the government can see some potential young people in the United States, where young people are crying with a vibrant talent in this country, United States, not just a track and field, not just a soccer. We got volleyball, we got track and field, we got basketball, we got tennis, we got racket sports, we got a lot of different type of activities as well. Team sport, like bring inspirational. Those are the things that I want to be able to incorporate into the educational system that will motivate the young people of Liberia. And look at the field that I study in the great United States of America. Kinesiologist. It is not founded in Liberia anymore. In the sports science, sport medicine, injury prevention. Today, if kids are playing in Liberia when they get injured, who will be there to treat them? Who will be there to inspire them? We want to be able to develop a program that will make our young people to grow in the proper way. I see young people with a potential talent, right?
Yes.
They're playing in the different age category of soccer in Liberia because they have talent.
Yes.
So they take them, they put them in the 20 youth category to play.
Yes.
They destroy the young people talent at the early age
Yes.
because they are not mature. Based that God gave them that skill. So you don't take advantage of their skill and put them in the big category.
Exactly.
And it destroy their career, destroy their talent. That's why people like Bill Rogers then come through to redirect the people and guide them in a professional way so sport can be a change agent for Liberia.
Yeah, you know, Dr. Rogers, your story is a story that is very, very inspiring and sentimental. You were left to die. You were chopped up. You have physical disabilities, but yet and still you are resilient to be a sport professional. You used that as a springboard. You came to the States. You went to school. You achieved your education. You have been to, you have been a panelist on and at the British Parliament.
Yes.
You have received honor in the British Parliament. You received honor from the President of Liberia.
Right.
And you have spoken, widely concerning your situation and how you rose to the top. And what specific message in your closing statement do you have for the Liberian youth?
Well, I'm very grateful, and one thing that has set me apart, you can receive all the award from a lot of countries for the Parliament, the England for giving me the African Achiever Award and receiving the Nelson Mandela Freedom Award as well in the great United States of America. It's not just a message of hope that I have. The young people have to be consistent and persistent in whatever you do. Count my story. Remember the child Bill Rogers. If I can run with with the rest of my toes, that no one look in my shoes, but I always look at the head of the race. That's how I always tell them: no movement, no improvement, no heart, no chance. And as then that, never let the opportunity go to waste. Always be humble, be respectful, and just mind your mouth as much as possible as well. Let people get the trust in you. When they trust in you, you're going to develop by yourself because somebody will see. Like the president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Nyima Boaga, called me to Liberia, giving me one of the outstanding awards in the country. The night official in redemption.
Yes.
That made me to cry. That strengthened me. That empowered me. That my country has recognized me today. What next for the next generation? Former President Eddie Johnson asked me the question, what the futures hold for Bill? I said, when my past was dark, but the light have come true.
Amen.
What is the next thing for the next generation of the Liberian youth? I have been giving scholarship opportunity to young Liberians to come and brighten themselves.
Yes.
And some of them working in government today. Some of them doing great things in Liberian government and they're elevating themselves, transforming their life.
Yes.
So my job for the young people of Liberia, my message of hope: be yourself, know your value, discover yourself at the earliest stage. Do not allow anyone to push you against the wall. Follow your heart. And this is what get me here. So I have the educational giant that want to go to Liberia and to transform the educational system to work. I have spoke with Dr. Jasodala, and she is very, very educated woman.
Impressive.
She is very impressive. I love her lifestyle. I love what is happening in the country, and we're going to continue to push and continue to support Liberia educational system. And because as the agenda of the president and the agenda for every single Liberian to transform education, we cannot go in Liberia and the educational system to now simplify our agenda. So that is my message. Be yourself.
Dr. Rogers, thank you again for coming to Liberian Youth. We want to let you know that although there is an opportunity gap, but you can create your own opportunity, and Dr. Rogers here is the proof. Thank you very much again for joining us and for telling us your story. Thank you very much for this inspiration.
Thank you so much for giving me the chance and the opportunity to be here. Love you. God bless.
Attention all organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamat.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At tiamet.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression, which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamet.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Fellow Liberians and well-wishers, just want to thank you for tuning in. And we are about to on the break just for a few moments, and then we will be right back. We just want to express our thanks and appreciation to ARTN for the excellent broadcast assistance they are providing during this entire conference. And we just want you to stay tuned. We will be back in a few minutes. And thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you very much.